President Trump on Monday said the FBI ruined the life of his former national security advisor and said his Democratic opponent for president, Hillary Clinton, suffered no consequences after she lied many times to the FBI. Michael T. Flynn, Mr. Trump's first national security advisor, pleaded guilty on Friday to lying to the FBI. When he was questioned early this year about his conversations with the Russian ambassador, he was the fourth person charged in the investigation of Robert S. Mueller III, the special counsel appointed to lead an inquiry into Russia's influence on the 2016 election and possible ties to Trump associates. As he left for Utah on Monday, the president said he felt very badly for Mr. Flynn, whom he fired in February for lying to the vice president about the content of these conversations. Mr. Trump's comments Monday on Mr. Flynn come at a time when the special counsel investigation is focusing intensely on the president's inner circle. Mr. Trump once encouraged Mr. Flynn to seek an immunity deal. Presidents typically do not weigh in on federal investigations to avoid appearing to influence the outcome. "I feel badly for General Flynn," Mr. Trump said on Monday. "I feel very badly. He's led a very strong life and I feel very badly. Hillary Clinton lied many times to the FBI. Nothing happened to her. Flynn lied and they destroyed his life." Mr. Trump did not cite specifically what Mrs. Clinton said that he considered a lie. Mrs. Clinton gave a voluntary interview to the Bureau in July 2016 during its investigation into whether she or her aides broke the law by corresponding through a private email service set up for her use as Secretary of State. A few days later, the FBI director at the time, James B. Comey, recommended no charges be filed against her in the matter. As Mr. Trump headed to Salt Lake City to address his plan to shrink a national monument, he left behind questions about whether he was previously aware that Mr. Flynn lied to the FBI but did not act swiftly to fire him, based on comments he made on Twitter over the weekend. Mr. Moore, a former state Supreme Court judge, has been accused of molesting a 14-year-old girl and of sexually assaulting another teenager when he was a prosecutor in his 30s. He has denied any sexual misconduct, and rejected all calls to quit the race. The former judge said he was grateful for Mr. Trump's endorsement. "Thankful for President Trump's support," Mr. Moore said in a Twitter post on Monday. Mr. Moore's wife, Kayla, posted an update to her Facebook account on Monday morning, thanking the president as well. "Judge Moore just got off the phone with President Trump. We have his full support. Thank you, Mr. President. Let's MAGA." Ms. Moore wrote, referring to Mr. Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." The fight over the highly contested Senate seat, which became vacant when Mr. Trump tapped Jeff Sessions to be his attorney general, comes at a time when sexual misconduct has become a national discussion. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader from Kentucky, was initially outspoken in his support of the women who accused Mr. Moore, saying he had no reason not to believe their stories. But on Sunday, Mr. McConnell said he was going to let the people of Alabama decide. Mr. McConnell has said that the Senate Ethics Committee should investigate the allegations against Mr. Moore if he is elected. The special election is December 12. Mr. Trump has not said whether he would travel to Alabama and campaign for Mr. Moore. The White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, said last week that Mr. Trump was not planning any trip to Alabama at this time and that his schedule did not allow such a trip before the election. However, the president is expected to attend a rally in Pensacola, Florida, on Thursday, which is in the Mobile, Alabama media market. This would allow Mr. Trump to help get the vote out for Mr. Moore without setting foot in Alabama.